Hello, everyone. I forgot to play the timer video, but that's okay. You're all very, very welcome to this Express session all about European Day of Language. It is the 26th of September, so that's what we celebrate every year. So you're all super welcome. I have a quick question, and I wonder if your teachers will be able to help you leave a comment in the chat or down below where they're watching this video. I want to know how many languages are in your classroom. So perhaps you have pupils and peers, or even your teacher who can speak more than one language. Maybe they're bilingual and can speak two languages, or maybe they're multilingual and can speak lots of different languages. So I'll leave that one sitting with you. Feel free to leave me a little comment in the chat and we'll see what languages we have out there on our call today. We have an Express challenge for you. In fact, we have two, and they're all on this screen right now. So you can type in, you'll see it at the bottom there, bit.ly/Express Euro. And if you are on this session, you're using an iPad. So therefore, what you can also do is hold your iPad camera up to this QR code, and then you'll see a little link pop up. Tap the link and it'll bring you straight to where we are. So that's all you need to do. If you're looking for a desktop, laptop, Chromebook version of this workshop, go back to the email and make sure you're in the right one. This one is for iPads only. So why are we having two different versions? Why is there an iPad session and a desktop, Chromebook, laptop version? Well, that is because the iPad apps for Adobe Express the engineers are working currently on updates for them. So we don't have all of the updates yet that were loaded on over summer to the desktop version. So we're going to do things slightly differently here if you stay with me. And then if you are using mixed devices, you're maybe using Chromebooks and you're using desktops and iPads, choose one and maybe partner up for this one. That is my recommendation for you. So we've got everybody who's staying here is on for iPads, which is awesome. Thank you so much. Let's have a little look then at what our challenges are today for European Day of Languages. So we have a greetings challenge as challenge number 1. It says write your greeting sentences or use the ones on the button below. So do you know any greetings in different languages? Hola, bonjour, dia dich, dia div. You might know a few. Well, we're going to create an Express page. Then you can also choose images that match your text, and we're going to format the text to suit the conversation. Now, this is when what I need to give you is, just in case you haven't already, you may have noticed that you can't go and find the old Adobe Spark Video and Spark Page apps from the App Store, but you can go to this link below and it will take you directly to where you need to go. So you can click on if you want the Spark Page app or if you want the Spark Video app, because we're going to use Spark Page today. And those apps are still there. Remember, I said this at the start of this session, these apps are going to be updating. In fact, it's probably the first notification you'll get whenever you download it, is that they're going to be updating to a new version, to the new Adobe Express, which we hope to come very soon. So we're going to do Spark Video first. You might already have it on your iPad, but just in case you don't, that's where you can go to download it and find the link for it. So that's the first challenge. Let's just take a little sneak peek and have a little look at challenge number 2. Do. Here we have a country fact file. So research some interesting facts about your language or your country of choice and create a video or a grid of your research. So again, we can be creative. If we don't have access and you can't download the Spark Video apps, then do this as a poster instead. Do it on Adobe Express and make it into a grid. You're going to add images, videos for each of your facts, add some text, effects, and icons, etc. So basically that means get as creative as you can in the time that we have together. So let's start off with the first one, which is an Express page. So for that one, we need Adobe Spark Page. Here's what it looks like if you're on Adobe Spark Page. Looks like this one. I'll keep that up at the bottom there for you if you need to go and download Adobe Spark Page. So here's what we get when we open it up. You'll see that we have an option at the bottom to get some inspiration from some of the options that are here. Or we can go to the blue plus to start from scratch. And I want to start from scratch. I'm happy to start from scratch. The title that I'm going to give is exactly what today is, which is European Day of Languages. Now, the great thing for all of my iPad friends is that right beside the space bar here, you have a microphone. That is dictation, which allows your iPad to translate speech into text. Now, it works with the language that that your device is in. So if your device is in English, it's going to translate in English. But if you have your device in Spanish, it will translate it in Spanish, and it does it with some languages. So European Day of Languages, and this one is by Nicole O'Connor. Done. Now, that's a really boring background, isn't it? I usually have a race to try and get rid of that boring grey background, and all I have to do is tap on photo. And I can now take a little look down through the options that I have. So, for example, I could find free images. You know what? That's hidden up there, isn't it, for you? You can't see what's going on. Let me take it away. There we are. So I could find free images, and I could search for maybe, oh, do you know what? I'm going to try that dictation tool. Europe. There we go. Searched for Europe. And I've got, well, I like this one with the map on it. I quite like the map idea. I'm going to drop that one in. That one's a globe, I think. Yep. Looking good. Looking good. Now, then the next thing I can do is at the bottom, it says scroll to start writing your story. So you just imagine it's a website. So you just scroll down it. Once we get to the scroll down, we're going to go to the very end where it says split layout. And now you'll see you haven't lost your work. Just scroll back up. There's my title. And now I can scroll down here and I can start to do what the first challenge was. And do you know what? I'm going to go back and have a look at the first challenge just to make sure I'm going to do everything right. The first challenge says, write your greeting sentences or use the ones in the button below. So the button below says example text that you can use. When I click onto this button, voila, I don't need to know these words off by heart. I can do some copying and pasting. So I've got some Spanish, I've got some French, and I've even got some Welsh in there. But if you're one of our really talented members on the call, you might speak another language. Perhaps you speak Irish or Polish or German. Go ahead, feel free to do it in whatever language you do know. But if we don't know any languages yet, or we're still learning, you can use the examples that are here for you. And you know what? I'm going to pop that up again because now you're thinking, oh, I really should have maybe downloaded that and opened up that page so that I have access to this text that's here. So I'm going to start with Spanish. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to press down on a word. And you see I get these blue circles. It's highlighted in blue, and I've got a blue circle on the top left and a blue circle on the bottom right. I can drag that bottom right blue circle and I can drag it across the full sentence. And you see the option that comes up is copy. So I can just tap copy. And I can go back into my Spark page. Here it is. And that can be my first bit of text that I put in. All you have to do then is tap in the empty space. And again, you see the menu bar pop up to paste. Done. Now, this still looks a little bit boring, maybe not as exciting as it could be. So when I tap on that text again, I'm going to now explore the options I have at the top. So I have H1, does that. Whoa, it gets very big. H2, a little bit bigger, but I can, of course, experiment then over here with some of the alignment. Or I have this kind of quote one. I'm going to stick with that one for now. And I'm going to have to choose an appropriate image. So this says, hola, buenas tardes, ¿cómo te llamas? So, hello, good afternoon, what is your name? So I kind of need like a cheery greeting from someone. So the free image that I'm going to search for is wave hello. Let me see what I get from that. Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog's not who I'm looking for. Let me just try hello. Let me try waving. Do some, well, see, it's now picking up waves as in the ocean. So let's see, greetings. That is going to bring up stuff like Christmas. Not far off. I'm going to have to do some creative searching here. Let's see, smile. Just get someone who's smiling and could be saying hello. Yep, okay, there's loads of these that I could choose from. Good choices, lots to choose from. gonna go with this one. There's a happy chappy. Looks like he could be saying hello. So I've put in the first bit. I'm going to give you a little bit of time now to do your cover page and scroll down to make your first split layout. Okay, so I think we deserve a little bit of music whilst we work. So get cracking with that one then, and I will see you in about 4 minutes. 4 minutes should do. Okay, how are we doing? So we have started off, we've put in a little bit of our first bits of our greetings. I've chosen Spanish as this one. But again, if you know a language, a European language especially, and you want to do that as your greeting challenge, go for it. Or back on the bit.ly/express euro, you also have access to French and Welsh. There we are. So I have got my title. I put in a little header image just whilst I was waiting there. And then my first split layout. Hola, buenas tardes, ¿cómo te llamas? And then I put a little response. I said, me llamo Stephen, or está bien, y tú? The text did say Lola, but I found a picture of someone that didn't look like a Lola to me. So I changed it around, and then I'm scrolling down to start choosing the next bit. So me llamo Antonio, ¿cómo estás? So how are you? Now, my photo that I chose in here, you can see it's very focused on the happy face, and I've got a little bit of an angry face and, a mystery face over here. If I want to change around any of my photos so that I can see a little bit more of it or see a different perspective of it, all I have to do is click on it and then click focal point. When you have the focal point, you'll see in the top corner here, you get a little preview of what it'll look like. So this is what I'll do. I start dragging around. There we go. I could see a lot of the sad face if I wanted. Or I could drag it over here so I could see the happy and the angry face. I might like that. I'm going to tap done. Yeah, that works for me. And then, of course, I'm going to try and keep some of my writing similar. Or what I might do is, have one style of writing for Antonio, one style of writing for Stephen. So I could change it up. So I'll change Stephen's. That's what I'll do. Stephen can have that writing. And now if I want to make the writing look even more different, I want to change it up some more. I have an option at the very top with, you kind of see this little magical wand. That helps me change the theme of my website. So this is your only opportunity to change the color of text and to change the font other than making it like bigger size and maybe bolder. I can scroll through these and choose, maybe I would choose a red one because in Spain, their flag is red and yellow. So I could choose that one. Have a little scroll up and down, see what it does to it. Ooh, okay. I can see now where I need to fix my surname because originally this title was all in capitals. So I didn't notice that I didn't have capital letters for my name whenever it changes font. So there we go. Oh, quite like that, I like changing that up a little bit. And I think this is getting lost now because it's too small compared to the rest of all the color of my writing. I could choose header 2. Maybe I could just change and play around with it. I might change that again later, but that's the great thing about getting creative. You can make up your mind now and then change it later on. So there we go. I've got the start. I've got a little bit from Stephen. And you know what? I might drop that onto a new line and still make sure that it's the same size of font. There we go. So we're just going to continue doing that now. The great thing with, for me on the iPad is whenever I swipe up, I can just go back in and out of the documents that I'm working on. Oh, look at that. Due to heavy traffic in this file, we're loading a read-only version. That's because everybody is in it. You're in it, and lots of friends are too. So I can now copy the next bit. So, muy bien, gracias, y tú? Very well, thank you, and you? So let's go and do another split layout. And let me see what I could choose as a photo for very well. We're doing good. Look at that funky hand. That's definitely greetings, isn't it? Lots of greetings, lots of waves. There's a nice one. Like that, lots of happy faces. And again, I'm just going to do the same thing. Text, tap in the empty space and paste it in. Then who's speaking at this one? This is Stephen, isn't it? So Stephen, I chose his writing to be H1. And I'm going to make that a capital Y and drop it down on a new line, H1, centered, H1, centered. So that kind of consistency of your font is actually something that if you go on to have a career doing web design or working in digital marketing, having consistency for your brand is really important. It's something that I do all the time. I have to be very conscious of, am I using the same font and the same colors associated with my brand? So these are really good skills that you're learning as part of this Adobe Express challenge. So I'm now going to put the Feeding the Ducks music back on, and we're going to finish off this challenge now, just going back and forth in between the document with our greetings. You see there, I only have 2 more lines to go. Bien, hasta luego, and adios. And then I can go into the challenge and make sure I've got everything. So I choose images to match the text. And have I formatted my text to suit the conversation? Well, I have. I've got 2 different styles of font to suit both speakers. So let's go back to some music and I'll see you in 5 minutes. Keep going. I'm going to do my last one now. Okay, everybody. Hope I can borrow your attention back. All right, so we have taken some time now to copy and paste some very basic greetings from different European countries, such as Spain, France, even Wales, or perhaps you did your language that you know. And we have now added it in. We've got a conversation pinging back and forth. Mine is between Antonio and Stephen, and I have got the whole way down to the bottom. I put in that funny hand because I couldn't resist. And then I've also got it right down to the end saying adios, goodbye. Now, what I can do here is I can go to the very top. In the top corner, you have this little play button. That allows me to preview my website. So this is what it will look like when it's published. And it gives me an idea of how well things are spaced out. It gives me an idea of, isn't that lovely? Look, yeah, so you can see there's no gap now in between the two split layouts, whereas beforehand there was like a little tiny plus so that you could go and add in more split layouts, or maybe you could go and add in photos and videos and things like that. And I can scroll on down. You can see everything's quite close together. Now, if I wanted to, say for example, do you see how mine's pinging left and right, photo on the left, photo on the right, photo on the left, photo on the right? If I wanted to change that, I can, really simple. Right in the middle of my screen, I have these arrows pointing left and right. It basically means that I can switch where it is. So I can switch it over and maybe have them all on the left-hand side or on the right-hand side. Up to you. For me, I think it suits having Antonio all down the left-hand side and Stephen all down the right-hand side, or vice versa, because then that looks more like a conversation's pinging back and forth. So it works for me the way it is. So there we go. That is within 25 minutes. Challenge 1 complete. Let's just go back and check that we have done everything that was set out of us. So we were writing greetings and using sentences from the text below, or if you knew your own ones, of course you did those. We created an Adobe Express page. We chose images to match the text, although I found it a little tricky to find appropriate images for what I was looking for. And we also then were formatting the text to suit the conversation. So we were choosing H1, H2, centered alignment, maybe the quote one, and we even changed the theme. So that's challenge 1 done. Let's scroll on down and have a look at challenge 2. So challenge 2 says research interesting facts about a country or a language. And you can do this in a video or you can do it in a grid. And there are some example facts on this button for you. So again, that link at the bottom, bit.ly/express euro, will take you to this page now. So when I click into it, away goes the languages, and now I've got the countries. So what I've got here is France is the largest country in the EU and sometimes called the hexagon. Lovely. And then I've got some about Spain. So I've got 5 facts for each one. One has shorter sentences and the other one has longer sentences. So I'm now going to go and see what's it asking me to do for these. Well, it's asking me to create a grid or a video. So if you don't have Adobe Express, or if you don't have Adobe Spark Video, which is the app that you can find at the link down here, if you don't have that, then you might want to do this on Adobe Express as a grid. And do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drop in and out. I'm going to go and do them both. I'll do a video one and I'll go do a grid one, just in case I have any friends online with me who haven't managed to download Spark Video. So we have to create a grid or a video. We have to add in some images and videos for these facts. And then we also have to do some text and effects and some icons. Okay. Like in the challenge, we're going to get creative with this. So because I have done Spanish as my language, I'm going to choose France as the country then. And I could probably add in some more facts that I know. For example, I know right now the Rugby World Cup is being held in France. So I can add in different facts. So if you know more facts about countries, feel free to show them off and get creative with them here. So let's go and start an Adobe Spark Video. So this is what the Spark Video app looks like. I'll dive into Adobe Express to do this as a grid to show you what it could look like in a wee minute. Spark Video then. Open it up. There we go. Do you see the warning? So Spark Video IS is being replaced, which is great news. It's going to get a big update to include a lot of the features that are available on the desktop. So I'm just going to X out of that notification because I know that news already. And it looks very similar to Spark Page. All I have to do is go down to the bottom to the plus, and I can start a whole new video from scratch. So I'm just going to skip to editor and just choose to do my own video. Now I'm choosing to do this one on France. So let's start off with tapping the plus in the middle. And I'm going to go to photos and I'm going to find a free photo. I'm now going to search for France. And I might give a specific place. It might say like, oh, the Eiffel Tower just makes you instantly think of France. But maybe it's too specific to Paris. So let me see. I'm maybe going to change it to French flag and see if I get some options. There we go. That's more like it for me, I think. I'm going to choose. Oh, there's quite a few nice options there. I'm going to choose this one because I like the idea of it flying in the air. And that'll do me rightly. So And Joe, I'm just going to drag. Did you see the way the bottom of the flag was cut off? All you have to do is hold down on it and you can move it about. There we go. That's great. I'm going to tap done on that now. I'll tap done up there. And now I'm going to add my text. So this is going to be facts about France. There we go. Done. Once I've finished that, I've got my title page in. I can just go down to the very bottom corner here and I can tap the plus to start adding another slide and put in my first fact. But what I'm going to do, similar to my web page that we just did as challenge 1, I'm going to have a little look at layout and I'm going to look at the split screen option. So you kind of worked out that us Adobe leaders love a split layout, don't we? We love split layouts and split screens. I'm going to choose this one. So now I can do the same thing. I can have an icon or a photo on one side and I can have some text on the other side. Now I have to go and find that first fact. So I'm swiping back into the other document that I have. And this is exactly the one that I want. I want number 1. France is the largest country in the EU and sometimes called the hexagon. So highlight, hold down on the word, drag across it, then copy. Just like that. Come back across here now and I can put my text or my photos on either side, exact same way that we did the page. So I'm going to go into here, tap in the empty space and then click paste. If that doesn't come up for you there, you don't see the option there, you might see this option right at the top of your keyboard, which is also paste. So if I tap that, ta-da, paste it in. Now I can go look, you know what, an option for me would be if an icon of France came up, you could, yeah, there we go. We can kind of see that it looks like a hexagon there. That's kind of why it's called that. So let's add that in. Although you can see from that photo, it has a lot more sides than a hexagon. Because a hexagon is how many sides? I'm going to pretend that you all said 6. So there we go. Added that in. Now I can start to go on and do my next facts, so on and so forth. And then we'll come back and we'll edit things up. So I'm going to give you some time to get your first page done and maybe a couple of facts along the way. And then we'll look at how to make our work look better and change it up and see if we meet the full challenge. So I will see you in less than 5 minutes. Keep going. All right, friends, how are we doing? We should have at least 1 or 2 facts popped into our video now. So I have got 3 in there, and I chose them all to be split layouts. Just put all of them as split layouts, but now I'm going to mix it up a little bit because I can. So for my next slide, whenever I add it in here, I'm not going to go and choose a split layout this time. I'm going to experiment with some of the other ones. For example, I'll choose a caption for this one. And I'm going to need to go get fact number 4. So Europe's highest mountain is Mont Blanc in the French Alps. So when I copy that, I can now look for, you'll see the options for the left one is only a video, a photo, or an icon. And videos only has, unless I have a photo of the French Alps, which I don't, or a video of them, which I don't. But I might be able to find, let me see, maybe on the off chance, or I could just search for mountains and see if there's any really tall ones there. That's some pretty good ones. You know what? I'm going to chance my luck and see if the actual mountain is in there. Oh, it is. Look at that. Oh, these are gorgeous. This is a really good choice. I've made a good choice to go and do photographs instead of icons for this one because they are gorgeous photos. Look at that one. That one looks really good. So I'm happy with my choice. Yeah, there's an even better one. That looks pretty cool up there. So now what I can do is I just have the tap done, and I can go over to this plus now and add in the caption. And you can see it's loaded to my clipboard. So I can paste it from there. And there we go. Pretty happy with that. Looking good, isn't it? Before I send you back to complete this bit, I'm just going to show you how we can change the theme. So again, the little magic wand at the top allows you to edit and change it up. But there's a couple of different ways that you can change up your theme. So not only, look, this one is a mountain as well. How, what timing. Whenever I click on one, you see I get different options. So France having the flag that is blue, white, and red. I'm probably going to stick closest to those colors. Oh, it's very red and white down at the bottom, isn't it? Or maybe I want to go out and I want to try and find one, like let's see the flare, if there's any options to go into the edit for flare and see if there's any red and blues that could go together. Not really, although there's nice blue. So this is where I just go into all of them and just have a little experiment. Oh, there's kind of a deeper blue in this one rather than that sky blue. Maybe that'll be the one for me. That's quite nice. I like it. I can, of course, choose any of them. And another option that you have whenever you're with these is that you see this little switch. You see like these 2 arrows that are crossing over each other in the corner. You can click on those and you see it inverts the colors. So instead of having the blue background with white font, I've now got a white background with blue font. So I can really get quite customized with just only having a few options on the screen there. So although it looks like I've only got 5 color options, I've actually got double because I can invert all of them as well. So I'm pretty happy with that now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and add in a couple more facts, and I'm going to not use split layouts this time. I'm just going to try and experiment different layouts and different themes, and that's what you're going to do too. So see you in less than 5 minutes. Alrighties, friends, we have now experimented with other video layout tools, and we've hopefully had a little look at theme. So if I borrow your attention again now, we're going to have a little look at music and audio. So you'll see on every single page you have this button for recording your voice. And basically what you can do is just narrate your video the whole way through. All you have to do, if I'm going to start on this one, for example, all I have to do is hold down on that and read my slide. France is the largest country in the EU and sometimes called the hexagon. Done. You can see what that did is it changed and increased the length of time that my screen is showing in my video. So it was 4 seconds and it's now 6 seconds. If you don't want to record and put your own voice in it, maybe the classroom's too noisy at the moment, although great top tip, especially now that the weather's turning a little bit, you probably have your coats in school. You can put your coat hood on the back of your head and put your coat over the top of you in the iPad, and it kind of makes like a semi little recording booth. It looks bonkers, but I used to do it with my primary threes all the time and they loved it. So the option that we have, if you don't want to record your voice and maybe you just want your screen to be on for a wee bit longer, is you can just tap that number 4 seconds and you can drag it up for about the length of time that's going to take someone to read your slide. And you just copy and repeat that process on and on and on. Once you've finished adding in your audio, now what you'll probably want to do is music. Now get ready, teachers, because the classroom might suddenly become very noisy and like a gobbledygook disco. There's going to be lots of different sounds playing. So what we have is lots of different genres. So I've got happy genres, a happy genre of music, some songs that fall into playful, relaxed, rousing, thematic. What I have to do is I have to find one that kind of sounds like France. Pity there's not one that's just called France. But what is there? It's almost like I knew this. There is Paris 20s. And I can tap it to have a little listen to how it sounds. No sound playing on it because it is connected to my device. But what I have at the bottom here, if I just hide my banner for now, because I'm assuming if you're all still with me, you have got this downloaded already. What I have at the bottom is I have a little toggle so that I can turn Paris 20s music up really loud, or I might need to drop it down lower because I am narrating throughout it. So all you have to do if you want to listen to songs, tap on it, have a little listen. And you see when it's red, that's it added into your video. But if you want to change it, just go ahead and click a different one and hit done. So even without listening to the sound, I know that Paris 20s is probably going to suit what I've chosen. So I'm just going to tap that and tap done and give you a bit of time to do that now. So let's go with less than 5 minutes, about 4 minutes to do that, because I want to give time at the end to have a little look at how you would do this task in a grid if you're not using Adobe Spark Video. So give me back the Feed the Ducks music, putting that on. See you in a couple of minutes. Final minute. Okay, friends. Hopefully you made a start on choosing which of the many musical tunes and options that you had there for your video. If you were doing France, maybe you let me know. Was Paris 20s a good one? Because I'm connected by this cable to the computer. I can't listen to it, but I will listen to it as soon as this call ends and I can find out did I make a good choice or was that a horrendous decision, Nicole? So we have now included, well, I've included all 5 facts. I put in one extra of my own. I've added in audio, I've added in music, I've changed the theme, and I've changed the layouts. That is a lot that we have covered. But let's see, did we meet the full challenge? So we used a video. We added in images. We didn't add in videos in this case because we're using Adobe Spark Video, which doesn't, we have to make those videos ourselves. We added in some text. We've got our effects in our different layouts and we've got icons and all of that really good stuff. So all that remains to do then is how do you share your work? Well, the same as on our page, you can just go to the top right where it says share and you can save it to your iPad and airdrop it to a teacher. Or you can copy the link to your video and post it on your digital learning environment, whether that's Seesaw, Google Classroom, etc. You just copy the link and paste it on there. That is the exact same. I will just show you again for page. In page in the top corner, they're slightly different just because it's asking you to put it into categories, but you don't need to do any of that. You can just go straight to create a public link. Either or, you can choose that people could find your wonderful work of European Language Day greetings. Let that load. And then whenever you're finished, you have the same options. So the link has been copied to your clipboard. So now you can go post it somewhere, or you can send it on a Google form to your teacher, or Microsoft form, so that they have it and they can put them up on the board as well. And that is it. So for my friends that have successfully completed their challenges on Adobe Spark Page and Adobe Spark Video, you can go. Thank you so much for joining me. I am going to hang around and I'm going to do now one on a grid, one like this. You can see a little sneak peek of it. For anyone that is using the Adobe Express app on the iPads, which is like this. So if you're not doing that one, or you just want to watch it anyway and try and do a third challenge, I'm going to go through this one very quickly. And then, of course, you can pause and rewind and watch this at your own pace. So Adobe Express. Oh, what I should say just before any of our friends head off, if you successfully completed challenges today, you will get an email from your teacher, will get an email from Dom afterwards asking how you got on. Did you complete the challenges? Do you want some swag? Maybe you want some Adobe stickers coming to your school. And perhaps you'll even go and do this creative challenge with other classes, because you can definitely do it now That's why this is here, so that you can go and spread the Adobe Express creativity to all the year groups in your school, and you can help them out and be the digital leaders that you are. So if you're going to do that, make sure you say to Dom and he'll give you out more stickers so that you can give them out to your classmates and to other friends in other year groups. And other than that, keep a little eye out for what other sessions are coming up soon. We're definitely celebrating Black History Month next month, so there's going to be some sessions on it, along with Children's Mental Health Week and Homelessness Days. There's so many, so do come back for those. If you're still hanging around, let's get into Adobe Express then. In Adobe Express, we're going to go to, well, we've got loads of options really. You can scroll across the top, and I'm going to make a collage. I make a collage of all these facts that I have, and I'm going to go, well, I need France first, don't I? So I'm going to go to my plus at the bottom, and I'm going to choose Adobe Stock, and I'm going to search for the French flag. It's the first one that I need. Oh, I don't have a French flag. And let me search for France flag. It's probably going to be a little bit better. No, still not. Well, there's one. There's one with France and Germany. I can work with that one. Let's add it in. And I'm going to say move freely for now. What I could do is start to change my layout. Let's see, how many facts did I have? 5. My other fact was, let me go back to my page, and I'll put this back on the screen just in case anyone hasn't got this page. I've got tourist destinations and I've got hexagons. Okay, so I'm just going to get all my photos in first, and then I will arrange them and put some writing on top. So I need France, just a map of France, hopefully. I'm going to do France map and see if I get anything. No. Oh, actually, no, I did. There was one in the middle. Not really what I'm looking for there. Do you know what there will be, though? There will be a hexagon. So unless you read my section, you won't know what I'm meaning. So let's go pop in a hexagon like that. Done. Well, the next thing that I needed is a tourist destination. So I could put in like a suitcase, or I could put in an airport perhaps, or look at these fun people. Definitely look like tourists. I like this one, the guy going like this. Next one was that it was a language spoken in England for nearly 300 years. So let me click language here. Ooh, I like a lot of these. English, Spanish, French, Chinese. Yeah, a lot of languages go in there. You know what? I kind of like that one has English and French go in the same direction. It kind of matches what I'm talking about here. Or I really like this one. So I'm going to choose this one here. And then what was the other fact? This is testing my memory. Mont Blanc, of course. I wonder, does it have Mount Blanc? If it has the white mountain. It does. It has lots of photos of it. So these are gorgeous. Let me see. Look at the guys skiing down them. There are lots of people skiing. I will choose one of these gorgeous silhouettes. They look really good. And I think that's all my facts. So add as a collage now. So I've found all my photos. I'm going to add them in as a collage. Now, this one I forgot to put in. So let me fix that. Let's go with, yay, something like that. Can sort of move around my options because I didn't pin this one in. And now I can double tap to add some text. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Nicole, you've got too many grids there. You don't need that many. You've only got 5 facts. I'm like, I know. Okay, let's change it. All right, I hear you. I'm going to change it up. And, there's a fun looking swirling one. Let's go with that. Again, I'm going to be guilty of being that person that spends so long searching for an option in here. Do you know what? I don't really like that I can't really see my hexagon in there very well. So I'm going to have to change it up again. Dun, dun, dun. Might have to get rid of my hexagon image. It's not going to work for me in there, is it? Well, let me just remove it from background. and see if I can resize it in there. Move freely. Oh no, now it's cut off. Okay, binning that, starting that again. And let's just go in here and get a hexagon and shapes. That will keep me happier, I think. There we go. Done. Thank you for bearing with me there. Now I can start to add in some of those facts. So let's go and take this one. France is the largest country in the EU, sometimes called the hexagon. Then go to the add in some text. And again, I can tap in this space and tap paste, like so. See, then I can resize and reshape it to fit in that space, just about. There we go, I'm happy with that. Next fact, France is the world's most popular tourist destination. So the man looking like this, he needs a little bit of font saying that that's what he's doing. So text, and I'm going to paste that in as well. Done. Can resize. Maybe change it, make it like that. Loving it. Next one, French was the official language of England for about 300 years. So that's going into this one now. What I might run into is a problem with being able to see this writing over a busy picture. So let's try and problem solve that. Yeah, that's going to be way too hard to see. So what am I going to do? Well, I have options in Adobe Express. I can kind of cover Spanish, and I'm going to go into my color options and change the color of my text. I can also go into effects, so I could put a shape behind it. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to do a shape. I'm going to go effects first, shape, and then the little lines at the bottom allows me to change this color. So will France again be in the blues and reds. I'm going to start with blue. And I can change the shape that I want. So you got loads of options in there. You've even got some fancy banners, which look pretty cool. So like, what's that one look like? Yeah, that one's nice. Kind of like the diamond one too, because it almost looks like it's a signpost, doesn't it? I like that. And I can move that across there. Do you know what? I'm thinking it's now blending too much into the sky behind it. So I'm going to change it and make it red. And then hopefully it looks like the sky is blue. There's some white clouds. And then there's the red for my sign. Yeah, okay. I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty happy. And the next one, again, doing the super quick, is the highest mountain. Ain't no mountain high enough. Yes, there is. Let's do this one. Add text. And you see how super quick it gets suddenly to get creative. Now, I've still got the shape background on, so all I have to do is tap it off like so. And maybe instead I want to put on an outline so that I can see the writing a little bit easier. I maybe want to position it somewhere that can be seen. I think I definitely am going to want the font to be a bit easier to read. I mean, that's not horrendous. Switch it up. Does that look any easier? A little bit. So let me go back to my effects and see if putting a shadow on it helps too. You know what? That actually does kind of help. So I like that option. Or of course, I have options where I can just go and get a shape. So I can go into the actual shapes and put like a little bar at the bottom. So maybe I just take this square here, for example, add it in and just resize it to fit almost as if it's a little empty section. Seeing now my France was the official one is getting too big, way too big for your boots. There we go. So something like this, and now I could bring this down, but what's happened? So you see my font and my writing is going behind the white text box. So I need to change that a little bit. So here's how I'm going to do it. I've clicked on my writing. I'm going to go down to order, and drag it to the front. Drag it to the front like that. That's much easier to see. That is much better. And then the last one must be about hot air balloons. Okay. So I can maybe get rid of my, that's why I had one of the French flag, because it was facts about France. So I'm going to delete that one, and I'm going to get a photo about tin cans, hot air balloons, and all of that. Let me see, hot air balloon. What type of photos do I get? Oh, they're so pretty. They're so pretty. I'm going to go with this one because it kind of looks like lots of different countries almost. Just wait for that to buffer. You see the little spinning wheel, and then add one turns blue, and that will be it. I want to add it into the collage like so. And then I'm going to double tap my text there, paste in, done. Super quick. Not the most aesthetic looking one, but what I can do now is change some of the writing around. I could start to get creative with it now that it's functional. I could start to change it to improve it. Same thing again, if you want to save your work, you can download it straight to your device, although I'm not finished or happy with mine yet, so I'm not going to do that. Well, I just did it anyway. I can also click Save Image, or I can scroll along to the very end to copy a link. So again, if you want to put the link to your project on Seesaw, Google Classroom, etc., 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 you can do it that way for your teacher. So that was 2.5 challenges, really. We got challenge 1 done, which was the web page. We got challenge 2 done, which was a video, and then we made a little start on making a grid as well for our country fact file. So thank you so much for joining me today on European Day of Languages. It happens every year on the 26th of September. See you again very soon for some more iPad Adobe Express creative challenges. Take care, everybody. Have lots of fun. Adios, Slan. Arrivederci. Bye.